Hi everybody, it's CJ. Hello out there to all you at CC. And we finished up week 15. As usual, I'll be kind of going over our new grammar from week 15. So let's go ahead and get started. So for math, for that subject first, we talked about metric measurements. And what we did with metric measurements is we did a similar tune to what we did in week 13, and that was kind of with liquid equivalence. And I didn't have as many props for that one as I had for this week, except for one prop. And if you recall, that was this shiny little 1-cent penny right here. And I also kind of threw out $1 to represent 100 or $1. 100 pennies equals $1, or 100 cents equals $1. So cents being referred to as centimeters. And let's go ahead and just kind of go over how that song went. And it went like this. So 10 millimeters walking down the street knocks into 1 centimeter they meet. 100 centimeters walking down the street knocks into 1 meter he meets. 1,000 meters walking down the street knocks into 1 kilometer they meet. So similar melody to what we did a couple weeks ago with liquid measurements. So you can do that same melody to learn the metric measurements as well. And hopefully your kids didn't spend their penny all in one place. But it seemed like it made a lot of sense. I know you're laughing out there. So apologize if that was a really bad joke in our class today. Alright, let's move on to Latin. So with Latin, we are talking about our first declension noun endings. So again, this is a repeat from weeks 3 and 4. I felt like the kids really know this very well with the melody. And I'll just go ahead and go through that new grammar real quickly. So it goes like this. I, 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 singular first declension. I, arum, is, as, is, I, arum, is, as, is, I, arum, is, as, is, plural first declension. So taken from the CCCD, seems to be a very good melody and catch, and I think it's what all of our kids are doing and learning in our community. So we've been sticking with that. Okay, next is I'll talk about science. And science was, what is each continent's highest mountain? Like, I'll be honest with you, didn't really go very well today, and I think that's on me. I misspelled one of the mountains. I accidentally went in order, and I kind of struggled with a little bit of the pronunciation of these continents, even though I tried really hard to work on that before class. And so, as I mentioned, let's go ahead and get this locked down so you can learn this new grammar. Again, very challenging new vocabulary, and so let me quickly go through that. And so we went through and we said Everest in Asia, Aconcagua in South America. I'll repeat that again. Aconcagua in South America, Denali in North America, Kilimanjaro in Africa, Elbrus in Europe, Kosciuszko in Australia. Again, that was Kosciuszko in Australia. Vincent Massif in Antarctica. So again, a little bit challenge here with some of the pronunciation of these mountains in the different continents. And also, I kind of made a mistake in our new grammar. I had actually intended to do a little bit of a game where the kids would actually go up and pick a continent that they would just erase on that board that I had, go through the mountains of the continents, and they would have to obviously say the continent when it wasn't written on the board. So I think because we were kind of so focused on trying to get the right pronunciation of the mountains, I had overlooked that little game that we were going to play. At home, another idea I had, if you want to try this, is you could write out the mountains, and you could put the continents in different order and have them maybe draw a line to each of the continents that represent those mountains. So a couple things, they would be able to see the spelling and try to match up the continents and the mountains, and then you can continue to drill the new vocabulary of these new continents and help them to get the pronunciation right on these mountains. So that's what happened with science. And by the way, is this really science or is this geography? It's up for debate, but that's our science subject. Okay, so next we'll talk about English. So English, we are doing helping verbs. We did the definition of a helping verb last week, and this week we are just talking about the helping verbs, and that was do, does, did. And we just had a fun game where we just did jumping jacks. 7 times through we did jumping jacks and repeated the helping verbs do, does, did. Quickly and very easily we went ahead and just drilled that and had a fun active activity. Alright, and with timeline, we did, again, just like last week, we introduced the voice cube, and the kids had fun throwing the voice cube. Happened to land on C-3PO quite a bit, surprisingly. But I think the kids had a great time. I think they seemed to enjoy that, go through the different voices, and go through the timeline. So history was tell me about Prince Henry of Portugal. And for this one, we actually had some hand motions with that. And I'll go ahead and cover those with you. And the new grammar. So in the 1400s, so for 1400s, I had the kids stick out one finger in their left hand and 4 fingers in their right hand. And when you're looking at that, you see a 1 and 4, so 1400s. So that was the hand motion for 1400s. Prince, so we did a hand motion for Prince, and that was to put our hands up like this to represent that we're wearing a crown, as princes do. So Prince Henry of Portugal founded a school of navigation. So we did navigation to kind of demonstrate holding a compass. His work advanced European exploration. For exploration, we'd put our hand above our eyes and we went back and forth like this, exploring. And trade. So, like we're dealing cards, including the slave trade. So again, go back and forth with our hands like that. So let me go ahead and go through the whole thing real quickly with the hand motions. So in the 1400s, Prince Henry of Portugal founded a school of navigation. His work advanced European exploration and trade, including the slave trade. So there you go. That is history with our hand motion. All right, and then geography, we had covered the Middle East. So we just went through the maps and covered the new geography, which was Israel, Sinai Peninsula, Suez Canal, Cairo, and the Gaza Strip. So that was geography. That is it for the new grammar. And one of the things I just want to talk about real quickly is that I think one of the biggest highlights I felt for our day today was during presentation time when Anna shared with us about how she passed her allergy test with eggs. So that was very exciting and wonderful presentation given by her. And I just want to give a shout out to you, Anna, for doing such a great job and being brave and sharing that with the class. We're so proud of you and happy for you with that. So again, congratulations. Okay, well, that's it for me. And again, this is week 15. We'll see you again next week.